Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to more Let's Play Miles Edgeworth. Wow, I messed up the intro. Sorry! Well, as you can see, we're about to do some logic chess with Mr. Gustavia and figure out his, what happened back 18 years ago. So let us continue. First, I'll ask about why he collaborated with Mr. Dover. The truth has been hidden for 18 years. That ends today. Let's go. Why did you collaborate with Mr. Dover? Why did you decide to collaborate with Isaac Dover?
Sir Dover and I were already acquaintances even before the contest began. Since he was interested in the contest, we simply decided to enter it together.
Joining forces with the sculptor, you weren't confident in your own abilities?
You know nothing about me. We wanted to make great works together.
Wait and see? You couldn't make it your own?
Sir Dover's son and my own attended the same elementary school. We all got along well from the start.
Really? So were you going to share the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef together? Wake up! As expected, he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Mr. Dover was a sculptor. I doubt he had any interest in the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. In that case, where did his true goal lie?
Indeed, my goal was the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. However, Sir Dover's goal was this grand prize, the Angel's Recipe.
I see. You cooperated because your interests were aligned. But there must have been a reason why your partnership soured.
Sir Prosecutor, I am the victim of the poisoning. And you're going to suspect me of this manner? If you're going to suspect me in this manner, perhaps I'd better return to the infirmary.
Wait a moment.
In that case, you should end this soon. I'm not a patient man.
It seems he's trying to leave. I can't let that happen. Still hiding something. Next, I should ask him about his true goal. I need to keep the pressure on him while being cautious of the time. Did you have another goal besides the title? Did that other one say, did you appear in a piece of cake? Did you have another goal besides the title? The title alone doesn't seem to have much value.
How dare the likes of you insult the title of a confectionery artist! My only goal was the title itself. I had no interest in anything else. My dream was to become the world's greatest pastry chef.
It would be impossible with your— Oh, that's mean.
18 years ago, I was lacking in design sense. However, things are different now.
Oh, are you saying you have improved at your craft?
Exactly, for I have trained at the Republic of Sangfa.
Okay, that's different. Wasn't expecting that.
Yes, at the time I also studied with Mr. Masterworks. I would often watch his show with my son.
So you were studying Mr. Master's work to improve your own skills. If you had his recipe, perhaps it would have been easier for you to become the world's greatest.
Perhaps. It's to a pastry chef, Mr. Master recipes were worth their weight in gold.
Why are you meditating? You were interested in his recipes. If becoming the world's greatest pastry chef was your goal, you should have also been interested in the grand prize, the Angel's Recipe.
The recipe of the world's greatest pastry chef. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't interested. However, I wouldn't think that simply being interested would be a problem.
I wonder about that. The Angel's Recipe's true nature was not for making desserts, but cures. And all the contest participants should have been aware of that. Looks like I'm getting close. He isn't meditating anymore. Now to slowly but surely drive him into a corner. The Prosecutor Life with Miles Edgeworth. Next, I'll ask what he planned to use the recipe book for. Did you know the recipe value? Did you intend to make desserts with it? Did you intend to win the angel's recipe and use it to make desserts?
Of course! If I obtained the angel's recipe, I was going to use it in my training!
I hear the angel's recipe was worth a lot of money.
I don't know the exact details, but that recipe book was much too valuable to be sold.
You're meditating again. You seem to know a lot about the book. You seem to know quite a lot about the angel's recipe.
It was explained to all the contest participants at the beginning of the contest.
In that case, you must know about the recipe book's true nature. That it was not a recipe book for desserts at all.
Impressive, Sir Prosecutor. So you know the true nature of the angel's recipe. The angel's recipe. Some have called it the ultimate recipe book. It contained formulas for new medicines that were not yet on the market.
You knew the recipe were actually formulas for new medicine. This could be a useful clue. Did you know the value? The angel's recipe, did you know its true value?
Silly question, it contains Sir Master's best dessert recipes. And any pastry chef worth their salt would want it.
Wait, what? It looks like that clue will come in handy. You know what recipes actually are. You may have studied design in Zhengfa. However, your skills in lying could use more work. You just said earlier that the angel's recipe contained formulas for medicine. You weren't interested in desserts, you wanted the medicine formulas. You are meditating again. I wanted to become a pharmacist. Did you need a new medicine? I wasn't sure if I was going to wait and see or do the other one. Now, why would a pastry chef such as yourself be so interested in medicine? Perhaps what you really after was information about the new medicine.
Oh! I've underestimated you, Sir Prosecutor. Yes. My goal was more than just the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. At the time my son was ill, I needed the recipe for the medicine.
Your son was ill. Tell me more about that.
To protect my son's honor, I can say no more.
Judging by the worried look on his face, I must have struck a nerve. Next, I'll need him to tell me more about his son's illness. This is kind of cruel, but at the same time I understand why we have to do this. This is it. This would be my final move of the game. Okay. What was your son like? What kind of person was your son?
Ah, my boy, he loved the desserts I made.
Did you enter the contest solely for your son?
Sir Prosecutor, you could never understand the feelings a father has for his son. I wanted nothing more than to cure my boy's illness.
I doubt that. Wait and see.
Until the semifinals, my son would always drop by the contest venue to play.
Is that so? What did he get in your way? I doubt you had time to care for your son while you were challenging Mr. Master.
That may be so, but I wanted to grant my son's wish. He said he always wanted to be the first to eat my desserts.
Your son sounds pretty healthy. About your son, if he was so sick, wouldn't it be difficult for him to come and play with you?
My son's illness, it wasn't life-threatening.
That might serve as a clue. What's the name of the illness? Did the recipe book have the only cure? Did the angel recipe have the only cure?
Yes, though the medicine is being sold everywhere now. At the time, the recipe book was my one and only option. That's why I continued making my desserts without joining the others for tea time.
So you weren't interested in what Mr. Master was making. You sure seem confident in your chance of winning.
I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the other contestants' desserts.
Didn't you have interest in Mr. Master's work? You just said earlier that you study Mr. Master's works. In addition, if your goal was to win the contest in order to get the medicine formula, you must have been curious about the other contestants' entries as well.
There was time to sample the other desserts during the contest, but none of their entries had any flavor. So I didn't want to eat any of it.
Wait, what?
I suspect I may have been a bit nervous as well.
So everything he ate tasted flavorless. So this could be a useful clue. Alright, what was the name of the illness? What was the name of what was the name of your son's illness?
Sir Prosecutor, how insensitive of you! My son was seriously ill. I will not be discussing this with the likes of you.
Looks like that clue will come in handy. But the illness wasn't life-threatening. You told me your son's illness was not life-threatening. Is there really a need to be so secretive about it?
It was enough to keep him from living a normal life.
That must have been difficult for your son.
I tried everything I could to cure his illness. It wasn't fair for the poor boy. He could never taste the desserts he loves so much.
Oh, a taste disorder like Mr. Master. Was he too fat? Wow. The angel's recipe contains a cure for a certain illness. A remedy that could also cure Mr. Master's taste disorder.
What? He had it too?
He had it too, I see. So your son suffers from a taste disorder.
Oh, I didn't think you figured it out so quickly.
In order to cure your son's taste disorder, you needed the recipe book. Wasn't that your true goal?
It is as you say.
Based on how he acted up until now, it appears he is still hiding something. Looks like that clue will come in handy. Didn't you also have the illness? Being unable to taste anything regardless of what you eat. Such a bitter illness. Bitter illness. That reminds me, didn't you say something similar earlier? None of their entries had any flavor, so I didn't feel like eating any of it. Wasn't it? Perhaps your son wasn't the only one who suffered from a taste disorder. It's hard to imagine being a successful pastry chef without a sense of taste. Perhaps what you really wanted was to cure yourself.
That's completely ludicrous! 18 years ago, I made those desserts all by myself.
Didn't you collaborate with Mr. Dover? Like, seriously, you just contradict yourself. It seems you've caught yourself in a contradiction. Didn't you cooperate with Isaac Dover in the contest? You can hardly say you made the desserts all by yourself. You must take great pride in your abilities as a pastry chef, but to betray your pride and cooperate with another contestant. You did it all to cure your own disease.
Well done, Sir Prosecutor. It's as you say. The one with the taste disorder is not my son. It is I. No one knew. I've kept it a secret for 18 years.
It doesn't matter how long a secret is kept. If you lie before me, I will expose it. Dane Gustavia and Isaac Dover were both trying to obtain the recipes for the new medicines. Gustavia to cure his condition, and Dover most likely to sell the recipe book for money. For this reason, they entered the contest as a collaborative effort. And with that, checkmate. Whew, that was a really long logic test. Like, literally, went through, my entire recording for this.